Well, you are.
All right, don't forget, this camera's on you.
Right. If you have any questions, then all you have to do is just ask.
When you open up, just kind of talk maybe like 3 or 4 minutes, 5 minutes, up to 5 minutes and stuff before you bring your mom on.
I will.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, I'm gonna give you all a 5 count, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm gonna point at that camera right there for you, Apostle. That's where you start. You ready? Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hi, I'm Jeremy Dwayne Banks, Apostle Jeremy, with Jeremy Dwayne Banks Ministries. I'm here with Pastor Pamela Banks, with Elohim Word of Deliverance. And the show is Free Yourself. And this is something that we, as people of God, got to do. We got to come to a place where we're free. Free mentally, free spiritually, free emotionally. And so a lot of people that I see, they're in church, they're preaching, they're singing, they're prophesying, but you can tell that they are in some type of bondage. And so when you're preaching bondage, your message comes across emotional. And so we preach from an emotional state and not from a delivered state. And so we have got no power because we are not been set free. And so until we get set free, we can never move into the things that God wants to move into. And so I saw a lot of people that walked around wounded. It's like a dog that's wounded. Even though the dog was still moving, he's not moving as he wants to move because a part of him has been wounded. So what I started to see preachers who have been wounded by divorce, wounded by circumstances, just wounded, period. But instead of them getting help, they continue to move on and not realizing that you are bleeding. Mm-hmm. And so we got too many people are bleeding, and because we're afraid or too prideful to say, I need help. And so in order to get help, you got to first say, God, I need you to free me. Because I can never help anyone get free if we walk around bound. So, Pastor Pam, how do you feel when the word for yourself come up? Because I was talking to you a while back. I told you something. I said, from now on, you got to free yourself. No matter how people feel, no matter how they interpret it, in order for God to heal you completely, there's certain things that you got to free yourself from and also from people. So give us a situation in your life that God has challenged you to free yourself from.
Well, first of all, Pastor Jeremy, just to be able to do this show is me freeing myself. Freeing myself of wanting to be on the back burner and letting everyone else be in front of me because I was afraid of not being adequate enough, not being competent enough, not knowing enough, and knowing that as the Bible says that when God is called, he told Moses, I called you. He sent Aaron because Moses didn't feel adequate enough to talk.
Right.
So he said, okay, I'm going to go ahead and send Aaron with you to talk. But each time you notice in that chapter, in that book, when he talked, Moses still stood up and talked.
Right.
Because Moses was the spokesperson that was called to do the talking.
Correct.
So in every area of our lives, we need to be free. Not just in ministry, but even in our natural lives. You got to be free of shame, free of failure, free of success, free of starting a business, free of not starting a business. There are so many areas in our lives we need to be freed from. And until you can be free as a total man, you will not be able to walk in anything, complete anything in your life. Fear of failure, fear of loss, fear of what ifs. All those are fears that we face on a regular basis. So in order to succeed in life as a total person, you got to be free. You got to be free in your finances. You got to be free in your mind. You got to be free of past hurts. You got to be free of what people think about you, how people see you. You got to be free to be able to voice what you've been through. I listened to Joyce Myers many years ago, and she had to free herself by getting up talking about the fact that she was molested by her father. So in this day and time, if you are broken in one area, you're going to be broken in all areas. You cannot be free in one area and not be free in another area in order to be a total person. Because wherever you bound at, that's what's going to cripple you to keep you from going forward.
Right.
because of the fears that I had as a child, fear of rejection, low self-esteem, all those things caused me in business and in ministry to be bound.
So let's deal with that rejection for a moment. How do it feel to be rejected by loved ones? That people in your life that supposed to love you and should love you, people who are on your side, who are supposed to have your back. How do it feel to be rejected by those close to you?
When you're rejected by those that are close to you, it leaves an emptiness and a void. You grow up hearing you're not going to be anything, you're not going to be nothing. So you begin to act upon what you heard. You begin to act upon the fact that I'm nothing. So you don't expect anything out of life. So you don't expect anyone to say anything nice to you. I grew up in a household where we never talked about love.
Mm-hmm.
It was never said in my household, I love you. So I didn't know what that word even meant. If you would have walked up to me and said, I love you, I couldn't equate it with anything. I didn't have anything to compare it to. So love was just a word that was put out there. As I began to grow older, because of the fact that I didn't feel that love from my family and from those that were close to me,
Mm-hmm.
I began to look for it in other places. So when someone said or did something, I equated that with love. You see, so when I went out there and, in my earlier times in life, I got married at 15.
Mm-hmm.
So if you gave me a little bit of money here and there, I equated that with love.
Right.
But I never knew what the word love was or what the word love meant.
So basically, love, the lack of love created a void,
Yes.
okay? And the lack of love that created a void also had you seeking other areas to fill that void that was left by rejection.
Yes.
So what would you tell a person that did rejection and how to overcome it?
The way you overcome rejection is one step at a time. As I told you earlier, I didn't feel love, didn't know what love was. So the way that I began to overcome that, I began to self-gratify. I went through an abusive childhood. I went through an abusive marriage early in life. So with me having that no sense of love, I began to do other things. So I began to say, okay, well, if I can do this, it'll compensate for that. So I began to use the drive for money and to make money and to replace that. And I said, okay, this is love for me. I don't need nobody to love me.
Right.
As long as I can make money. So what I did was I worked and I worked and I worked. That filled that void
For a moment.
that I thought that love was supposed to feel. And I didn't get the full concept that it wasn't love until I got sick.
Mm-hmm.
When I got sick and diagnosed with cancer, and I had to lay flat on my back in a hospital bed, I realized that I didn't have love.
Right.
Because that money couldn't do anything for me at that time. So when you don't have that place of love, you begin to do things, you begin to hurt yourself, put yourself on the back burner, put everybody before you, thinking that if I try to give them this, if I give them that, it'll make them love me. If I give this one this, if I give this one that, or put this one in front of me, it'll make them love me.
Right.
But one thing you have to realize in life, you can't make nobody love you. First, you got to love yourself.
Right.
And because of all the abuse I suffered, I didn't know how to love myself. I didn't know who self was. So how do you love something that you don't even know what it is? How do you love you when you don't know who you is? You never been taught who you were. So what is love?
So if a child don't grow up in a household with love and they don't see love expressed, how can they equate what love is? Because if love is not presented, how can you teach a child how to love if you never experience to love yourself?
So if you grow up in a household where there is no love as a child, you're not going to learn as a child how to love. So because you grow up as a child not knowing how to love, you'll go into your teen years trying to find everything to fill that void. That's why we got a lot of gangs.
Right.
Because they didn't have love in the household. So when the gang says, come on in, we'll do this and we'll do that, they equate that as love. So they find themselves drawn into those places. The same way in the church. If you have a broken child that never learned love, and they come into church, and that's how they get into the cliques, looking for love.
Right.
They don't know what they're looking for, but they find themselves in different cliques. If I get over Nielsen and they put my name in lights or they call my name out, that's why we got all these people for titles. They feel like a title equates to love.
Right.
If I'm an apostle, I'm a prophet. If I'm pastor, I'm love. So they're going to seek it for all these things, but stuff and things don't bring love.
Right.
So we got to bring them in and heal them. You got to start back over and heal the wounded child within in order to be able to love.
Right.
So you get to learn
said,
love.
I come you may have life and that more abundant. And he also said, who the Son set free is free indeed. No matter how much you try to find love and seek love, true love can never happen until you have an encounter with Christ the Messiah.
Amen.
And so until we have an encounter that change our nature, we'll forever be searching, trying to fill a void that only he can fill.
Correct.
And sometimes that void is left there, so that void will be filled with him. And so until we find him, we'll always have a void that's there. And the more we fill with things, the more inadequate we feel. Because we're trying to replace the love of God, because when we were born, our nature always craved him anyway. And so we go through life trying to see what's already we craving for. And we don't realize that we came from him. And so internally, what we do is we keep searching to find that love. So really what we're looking at, we're trying to get back to the Father's love.
Mm-hmm.
Now, not a human being, but the Father's love with his Father in heaven. And so that void going to be there until our relationship with him is strong.
And again, Apostle, if you don't have a natural father's love, what do you equate it with? I grew up not having a natural father's love. So I grew up being abused by a stepfather.
Right.
So all my years, I didn't know what a father was, a true father.
A true Father.
I equated a true father with molestation, beating me, scourging me. So even down through the years, I'll say even into my late 40s, Apostle,
Mm-hmm.
I had to go to God. I said, I can't say the Our Father prayer because I don't equate anything good with a father.
Right.
So when I would say the prayer, I would not say the Our Father prayer for many years. Because I said, God, I don't understand. I don't have a good feeling saying Our Father. So when I would get down and say Our Father, which art in heaven, it was a bad feeling. So I couldn't really get to the Father because I didn't know what to equate a father with. So I had to start out with baby steps and say, Father, teach me how to love you as a father. Teach me what a father does. Because when I began to read and study the word, it says that a father is a protector. A father is a provider. Well, I didn't have any of that. So now teach me. Now that I'm fully grown, and now that I have kids, teach me what a father is supposed to do. How is a father supposed to love? So I had to learn how to embrace myself in order to be free of myself. And it's taken me years, even now, to still try to free myself of not having a father. Even at 56, I would wrestle on Father's Day because I didn't have a father. And I kept saying, maybe if I had a father that taught me how to love,
Right.
I wouldn't find myself in bad relationships. I wouldn't find myself drawn to men that are abusive. I wouldn't find myself, drawn to this type of situation. I wouldn't find myself, even when I had kids, telling me that it's okay, I'm going to be the father and a mother for you. And I had to ask God, teach me how to love my kids, because I don't know what love is. You see, there was a song many years ago, and a lot of us too deep to be real, but there was a song that said, love is a five-letter word. M-O-N-E-Y.
Wow.
So I began to learn that that's what love was for me. If you didn't have money and you didn't have anything to give me, or I couldn't go out there and get it, I was loveless. I had no love. So in other words, teach me how to love. How do I love? Even when I got married, I didn't get married for love, because I didn't know what it was.
Right.
So you have to take an adult and take them back to being a child and rebirth them all over again in order for them to know how to love. And so then you get those that come into the church. You never learned how to love. So therefore, you have no compassion when you get over here on this side to be able to embrace a person that has never been loved.
So what I'm hearing from you is abandonment, thing. Also, I hear a void.